The RIA brings a diverse group of individuals together who have an opportunity to impact the business and not just impact the industry at your individual local level, but at the broader level. And to be able to have a voice and a seat at the table to impact what a broad group of industry is doing is really important. I think what's also really important about the RIA is that diversity and having multiple voices who do business different ways to come together and discuss how to do it better is really important. I think the openness and collaboration of the RIA is also important. And I think it's good to impact the individuals in the industry. And that's what the RIA does, is it impacts the individuals. It helps empower technicians, project managers, business leaders, business development, just kind of the full diverse range of the industry. I've used the industry papers in our business to both help us understand how we can grow the business, but also how we can defend ourselves, in particular with insurance negotiations. A specific challenge that we face in the industry is custom pricing or pricing deviations. And the paper that the RIA released on that gave us the backing and support when we needed it, but not just to use pricing deviations, but to understand when it's the right time to use pricing deviations, how to back it up and support it and ensure that we're right in what we're pricing into our estimates. And we've utilized that with great success to just take the position paper and sit it in front of an insurance adjuster to start the conversation and to have the backing of not just us, and it's not just our word, but it's the industry's word. And then to take that paper and open up and have actual discussions and discourse with insurance carriers, adjusters, consultants, whoever we're working with. That specific paper on pricing deviation has been very impactful on the business. It's moved the needle for us, and it's allowed for us to have open conversations that were otherwise not present when it was just our voice in the room that was discussing pricing deviation. I've only been involved with the RA for 1 year. For most of my career, I've been part of a franchise. And, a lot of what exists in the franchise network, there's a lot of support. You have a lot of folks that you get to interact with on a regular basis, but I felt like a diversified voice was really of interest, and really learning about the impact of the AGA and AGA Academy is what drew me to join RIA. I very quickly joined the AGA Academy committee after joining RIA because I wanted to be able to help take what the AGA was doing into the entire industry and help support the broader group in educating and really learning about how you can take a position paper or learning about position papers that exist and learning how to implement them. I was passionate about this gap between, the top level knowledge and those who actually execute the work. And so I wanted to be able to support bringing that voice from not just these really smart people in the room, but also be able to support the broader industry all the way down into technician ranks. I think ultimately it's easy to overcomplicate the things that we do in business and to get super competitive with maybe the bigger company in the area, and to focus on what you do well is simplifying the business. And I think that kind of comes from a few things. One is understanding that the money is made by the work that we do in the field. It's not made by any fancy, sophisticated model. And so really focus on what you do, how you execute it in the field, simplifying processes, simplifying procedures. And then the one thing that I would have done differently if I had to do it all over again, I would write things down more and document my processes and then evaluate those and what steps do we need to do and what steps do we not need to do to simplify. We have a great group of technicians in this industry. I fear that we overcomplicate things at times, and so find ways to ensure that those who drive the business in the field are empowered to care for the customer and always care for the customer and not get distracted by all the other things that maybe impact the business. What makes the RIA unique is the diverse voices in the room. And if you are an independent, you maybe don't have a lot of kind of folks to interact with, especially in a local market. Maybe your competitors are a little bit nervous to get together with you. But at the RIA, you're not a competitor. It's a group of individuals coming together to impact the industry for good. And the same with the franchise network. You, within a franchise network, can get a very large group of people together who are largely saying the same things and speaking about the same issues. And I think that diverse voice to hear from people who operate the business differently is really important. And I think getting in a room with low ego is really important to just discuss the issues at hand, to to have fun as well is really important. And that's what the IRA has done a great job of doing, is allowing a diverse group of individuals to come together and just have real raw conversation about how to positively impact the business.